Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We were in a very intense discussion here with Mr. Gagnon. This is an area that I know very well in around the Bay James area, and we were also talking about some fishing out there. Okay, so hi, Mr. Gagnon.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Man.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Looking at all of those projects we showed everyone, we know there are quite a bit of projects in Quebec, especially on the east side of the province. And actually, I did not know there was an iron project on the west side near James Bay. And it seems like you have everything you need for a mine out there.
Yes, over there, what's very interesting, we have the hydroelectric complex, from a LG2 and LG2A or Robert Bourassa complex, hydropower. It's very important because we have the largest underground powerhouse. We have something like 15,000 kilowatt of production of hydroelectricity, and close to 7 kilometers away from our mines. So
which is you just have to wire it, and that's all.
So
you have everything. You have all infrastructure. You have road. You have water, of course.
Sure.
Road, water, electricity, people,
accommodation. And we cover about also the
with the village. How far are you from Radisson?
45 kilometers away from Radisson.
Oh, yeah.
And we have also the natives. We are approximately 80 kilometers from the mine. So the natives already have 4,000 people living there. Maybe a good manpower of about 1,000 people can work, or 600 of those could be involved in the projects.
In the Indian Reserve there, which is a Chessibi there, is there a lot of people that were working at the James Bay project before and that are experienced people ready to be used?
It's a good question. When we built the first powerhouse, we have not so much people involved in that project because maybe only 50 of those were working on the big first powerhouse of the project electricity,
Yeah.
But on the second one, we get much more, like maybe 200 of those one. In LG2 powerhouse, they maybe have something like around 200 or 300 of those one were working from Chisasibi on these projects. From our mines, we're expecting to have much more than that. Maybe the youngers, could be the next generation, could be able to help us to build that nice project for them.
Jean Charest yesterday was talking about his new plan, and he was talking about investing money for training the population out there too. Are you involved in some sort like that in there? Are they planning to train people?
We are ready. The main power will be involved mainly on the trucks, transportation from down the open pit mine, and also working on the shovel.
Yeah.
And also involved in the drilling company. Maybe we need about 40 drills, maybe just to drill every day, And so there is a lot of possibility for them to work and also to be trained by us, or maybe to be trained by maybe some money could be spent to help them to be trained. They love to work, the natives, And
we know now there are 821 million ton that has been evaluated so far, and you're still drilling and you're still working to enlarge this reserve again.
Yes. Well, now we are close to have a scoping study. So before we get scoping study, something gives you like maybe 25 at 15% of maybe close to the real cost, okay? And after that, we go for pre-feasibility study and feasibility study. So the feasibility study will be done maybe in 2-3 years from now. We're expecting to be in production in the next. My Chinese group, they're expecting 3 years, but I still believe it could take 4 or 5 years because, we need to have all the permits, environmental permits, and also to see the social effect from the people involved in this area also. But we have all the accommodation, everything close of it. So now the main energy will be done to increase the resources and to see the resources to go for near, we call that like a reserve, very close to be mined. So for that, we need to drill over 50,000 meters of drilling to define really the projects itself.
It's a three-part pie that you have out there. You have Augyva, and you have Canadian Century Iron Corp, and there's a third player.
Yes, the Wisco. So Wisco Group own like 40%, with Minmetal own 5% more, and they can also own 10%. So on the 10%, so 50% from the 65% of the Chinese, my Chinese partner. So they can own 32%, and the Chinese Century Iron can own 32%, and Augyva will own 35%. So we divide the pie in three. So for 21 million, so we get approximately 7 million tons, and each of them get approximately 7 million tons. So we are close to the concentrated Thompson production, and which was sold as $17 per ton per shares.
Yeah.
And we have only, both of us, we have approximately 160 million shares. So my partner has 100 million shares, and I have 60 million shares. But I think the project itself has a good possibility to increase. To have a good upside, because we're working on it, and nobody knows this area. People, they only know the east side. The west side get all the accommodation close to the sea, and also we have the manpower, like the Cree Nation, who is quite a rich community, rich in people, rich in money, and also rich in culture. This is very important for us, and we want them involved with us.
There might be some. I don't think the whole area has been verified out there. There could be some other resources also once they know, because this project, this potential mine has been discovered in the 60s.
Yes, it was discovered in 48.
It
was discovered in 48 by a magnetic flight, but in 60 they drilled that one, some of those deposits, until 1973. And after that, they stopped because the price of iron, and also the big development of the hydroelectric project from the Bourassa government at that time. So
they took all of the human resources out there.
Human resources, and also they say they stopped for all the claims, projects. They want no more mining involved in the area before they get the evaluation of the potential. So they stopped at that time to able to claim the things, and the market was not there. So, but in 1986, the Quebec government opened the claims again. So my company started to claims in this area. In 1993, Virginia Gold came, 1991 came in this area with other small junior company, because we find some good gold showing. But the iron start only in 2005, when we get the increase from $15 or $25 per ton until now what we are at 180. And
there's nothing out there so far. There's no pit or anything. The picture we have here is just to give us an idea of how it should look like when you start this.
It will
and
look
now it's full of trees everywhere.
Yeah, full of trees everywhere, and we have and positive relief. It's mainly iron ore, and just over it you have sand. So we need to take up the sand and to mine mainly the iron ore itself, which is very well protected. During the last glaciation, this iron ore is still there, so we have an open pit easily to mine for us as well.
Is that an ancient sea?
Yes, it was in
because it's sand. Usually, sand goes with sea.
Yes, sand. It was the last glaciation. We call that the Tyrrell Sea, and the Tyrrell Sea invade the James Bay and the Hudson Bay area until maybe 100 kilometers inside the land. So from the down south in the Ontario side, and on Quebec side, and also on the east side from the Manitoba area. So there was a very large sea. We call that the Tyrrell Sea, from a very well-known geologist.
Oh, it's funny. We have some other picture here, and we see your project that is right there.
Yes.
And it seems like someone has an idea that this can be carried by boat also?
Yes, we will be carried by boat. So we already made a special internal study. We call that one opportunity study, and also a transportation study, because before any Chinese involved, you need to know if they're able to take away take away the metals itself, the iron. And so this study show us, there was no problem to take off all the minerals and to go in China. So we maybe use the first travel. You see, we don't expect him to go by the other way. We expect him to go by that side.
This way?
Not that way, no. Because
this way. Okay.
Yes, this way is more valuable, more realistic.
But this is the northern pass, and
but
it's not always open.
But you see, at the end of it, which you mentioned, it still have iceberg over there.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we'll have iceberg for maybe the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
So it's too dangerous, I still believe.
But it's still clear here about at least 6-7 months a year.
Yes, it is clean, you know, like only in the beginning of August until December. But we may be able to use icebreakers. The same when Baff and Lindy will use it too.
That's what I thought Jean Charest was going to announce, building an icebreaker, a real one. You know, that's a small craft that we do have.
No.
Russians has full of them in this sea, because I think we should own what's there too, because this is ours and this is full of resources also. But we'll be back to, we'll talk about that later. And but so far, what are the difficulties to go through before we have a mine there?
For any mines, you know, in Quebec, I think, you know, it's the environmental scoping study. No, we have done that one. The environmental scoping study, or maybe also the feasibility environmental study, give you the real one you're expecting to get your mines. The resource is important, but the most important thing is to get the permits. To be sure, you know, you are in, I would say you get all authorization from the natives, from after that the government, from also the community involved also. I'm talking about maybe the city, and if you have all the things like that. So for our projects, I think the natives, you know, we want the natives involved with us. I want those one involved also in my company. And I think maybe that will be the next challenge for us, and we're working on it. So we're expecting to have that mine, if it's possible, in the next 4 or 5 years, like the Plan R maybe mentioned, and we are on that way.
And this is really on surface, so that you just dig it with shovels and fill trucks. And do you have to refine it before you ship, or with this type of mine, or you ship the total thing?
Well, it's a very good question. We up north, you know, we can ship like that, and any other side also, the east side too. We need to build pallets because, you know,
and that's what we have here.
Yes,
it looks like barbecue rocks.
Yes, it is about the size of a golf
ball.
Golf. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. So
is it naturally done like that, or just after you crunch it, it takes this form?
No, they have to build that way because they use magnetite or hematite to build that from the processing. So you get something like that shape, okay? And that's why the Chinese now they like better, because to have iron you need to have first iron to start to start inside your mills. So if you can just send iron like that, so the pellets or maybe the scrap is very useful when you start in your clinker or in your mills. You need to have, you know, really 10% minimum of pellets. And for us, you know, pellets is very essential because over there up north, you know, we can have just concentrate, because the concentrate will be freezing, and we need to have less than 3%. So the only way to take off the minerals or the iron is to have pellets blend.
Okay.
And pellets blend is maybe one of the...
So you have to take the materials off, but you also have to do some processing.
Before, and so from that we're able to ship that easily.
Okay, Mr. Gagnon, time goes by so fast when we're talking about this. I mean, I think I'm planning to go around this area this summer, and because there's quite a bit of project in this area. So, is there, if there is other project that right now companies are working on the area?
Yes, there is many other companies, but James Bay is so wide, okay?
So
big and wide. So you have projects at 400 kilometers, but the main projects, iron start, you know, you get the knowledge, and you get all the, I would say, the other companies involved to help other projects to be done.
Mr. Gagnon, time goes by very fast. We really thank you for being here. We'll be following your project very closely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carignan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.